20 million. 20 million. What are we going to do about it? According to official numbers, 20 million people are diagnosed with a cancer every year. And these are the registered diagnoses. The real numbers are expected to be much higher. Also, according to the official numbers, 10 million people die from cancer every year. These are too many people. These are too many precious lives, and many of them are being taken from us very early. So the question today is, what are we going to do about it? So 15 years ago, I was living in the United States, and I remember I was walking in Texas, very hot, and I received a call from my dad from Brazil, and he said, "Rodrigo, I have cancer. I have been diagnosed with a lymphoma, and after further exams, the doctors also detected the prostate cancer." At that moment, the world went silent and stopped. And so did I. At that moment, our lives changed forever. At that moment, we had become one of the 20 million. And at that moment, we start our fight against cancer together. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, Rodrigo? As a cancer researcher myself, this is the question that I have been asking for the last 20 years that I have been working in genetics of cancer. During this time, we have seen a transformation in diagnosis in cancer care. We have seen overall survival of many tumors really increasing with these statistics. We are getting better. Today, we have precision oncology. We have designed molecules that can go and track exactly specific molecular features of cancer. This is called targeted therapy. We also have immunotherapy, immune checkpoint inhibitors. It doesn't attack directly cancer, but it boosts the immune system of the patients. And this immune system will detect and kill cancer. We have other types of immunotherapy. We have CAR T cells, when we extract immune cells from the patients. We teach these cells how to kill the tumor cells in our laboratories. We expand them, and we give it back to the patients. That's a great treatment. This is what we want to do, and this is what we have been doing. We have the right drug to the right patient, the right time, precision oncology. In addition to precision oncology, we also have another revolution that is called liquid biopsy. Liquid biopsy is a completely different way how we perceive and track cancer. So it stands for a single blood tube that we can really pinpoint the molecular features of the cancer. We really can track the DNA of the cancer that is circulating in a patient's body. This is circulating tumor DNA or ctDNA. We can measure the ctDNA in a patient's body, in a patient's blood. And if it's very high, this is a very bad prognosis, unfortunately. But if it starts with the treatment going down, this tells us many very important information, like, for example, this patient is responding to this treatment. This is what I do in my laboratory every day. I'm a cancer researcher, and fight against cancer is my mission. We can now answer many questions that when my father had a diagnosis, we could not answer. How aggressive were the tumors of my father? Are there any very good treatments? How many years and hopefully years will he survive? Now with liquid biopsy, we can start answering these questions. We are getting much better in cancer care. And this is a commitment of many of cancer researchers, thousands of cancer researchers across the world, but many healthcare providers, oncologists, radiologists, nurses. We are all doing our best, and this is improving. But what if I told you that the fight against cancer is much broader than the hospitals and the laboratories? And a very important part of the fight against cancer is occurring right here, right now, in our homes, at work, when we go out. Prevention. We are at the IESE Business School, and here, decision-making process is a very important topic that we learn here in this school. And why? Because decisions can be very complicated sometimes. We need more data. We need time. But very often, decisions are also not that complicated. What we need is just a different perspective, a different input that will be the missing piece of this puzzle that we can commit and take action. So this is what I'm going to do today. So please allow me to give you 3 inputs of scientific data that can help you with the decision of fight cancer together. So first input, what if I told you that we have the high level of evidence, level 1 evidence, that exercise is not only good for you, it combats cancer? So this is a study that took 13 years to be accomplished. So the scientists invited and operated 900 patients with colorectal cancer without a metastasis. They had a surgery and then had a chemotherapy. And after these patients were randomized, separated in 2 groups. First group, they were informed about exercises, and they perform it. The second group, they were informed about exercises, but they did not perform it. So scientists followed these patients for 9 years in average. It's a long, long study. And the question was, does exercise is helping control cancer here? When they compared the risk of tumor recurrence or cancer death with these 2 groups, the group that exercised, they had a hazard of less 28 compared with those that did not exercise. Overall survival of this group were much bigger. So this is the level 1 information, level 1 evidence that we have in the randomized study that exercise is not only good for you, it combats cancer. My father likes to walk, and he's constantly exercising. After surgery, 2 years of chemotherapy, and long sessions of radiotherapy, the cancers of my father were controlled. Now he's 86 years old, and he lives in this beautiful city of Barcelona, when we enjoyed long walks and coffees, and he enjoys seeing his grandsons and granddaughters run and grow fast. And he continued beating me on chest as he always did. And by these studies, we know that perhaps his exercising, his walking, his decision and action of exercising and to fight for his health, it's helping him to control cancer. And he's cancer-free for 13 years now. First, exercise combats cancer. Second, let's stop completely pyropyrin cytosine adenine transversion. Exactly. Let's stop completely. Benzopyrin to cytosine adenine transversion, also known as smoking, completely out. We all know that smoking is not good for us, but what does it do actually? So let me tell you a story. We have data that shows that what actually these 7,000 compounds of tobacco is doing, and from these 7,000 we have like 70 proven carcinogens. What it does, it hacks your database. It hacks our DNA. So if we go, we are a cell, let's imagine this, we are a lung cell sitting there and doing what we have to do, transport gas, getting oxygen, returning CO2 for us to survive. And then in the middle of this very little nucleus, we have our DNA. If we unwrap it, it's going to be 2 meters tall. And we know, oh, imagine this beautiful double helix of a DNA. We all know this, and this is compound of 2 billion letters here. A, T, C, and G. We all know this. What happened when we smoke? So when we smoke, these carcinogens, they go and detect the letter C, and they change it to A. And mutation starts to occur in this beautiful DNA. And DNA is like a book. There are many, many different chapters here. Some chapters are important for lung cells, some not. So when we smoke, these carcinogens start attacking and mutating your DNA. And perhaps it's not going to happen in a very important part of the DNA, but eventually more smoke, and a mutation occurs in a chapter that is very important for this lung cell. And more, a new mutation, and now the cell that was there sitting, breathing, helping us survive is now saying, hey, now I don't die, I proliferate more. So now we start growing, I start growing. Wow, nice. And then it starts continue, and another hit. And perhaps this hit will occur in a proto-oncogene. And why do we call proto-oncogene? When it's mutated, it becomes an oncogene. A gene that is, when it's activated by a mutation, can promote cancer. So now we have a cancer. And then we continue, and the cells start growing. And then another hit. And now these tumors know how to release cells and say, get adventures, and say, hey, let's not stay here, let's go to the blood. And it starts going to the bloodstream. Now we have a circulating tumor cell in our body. Another hit, and now these circulating tumor cells start to know how to live in other places. And they start populating bone, the liver, and start growing in the liver. So at this point, if we are diagnosed and we are treated with a surgery, it's already too far, too late. So, number 2, no smoking. And this includes social smoking or vaping, 0. So let me give you now hack number 3. And hack number 3, this input is a little bit more difficult to give because it relates to something that is so close to us, right? And it's food, diet. It's so hard. And so hard for us, and so hard for us to also to have the reliable data, because we cannot randomize 2 groups and say, you're going to eat healthy food and you're going to eat or hamburgers every day for 5 years. This is impossible to do, right? And it's unethical. So we have to rely on different information. So let's go for this. So if our DNA is 2 meters tall, our intestine is 6 meters tall. And it's composed of finger-like cells like this, right? And it's constantly working. It's a lot of stress. We have to deal with all the food and all the drinks that we have. For you to have an idea, our whole intestine, we regenerate every 5 days. It's a lot of stress, a lot of proliferation. So that's right. So in 1 year, you will have 73 new intestines. So can you imagine how many you had so far and how many we will have in your life? So the intestine, it's under very big pressure, and it's a lot of proliferation. And how this proliferation occurs with stem cells that are right here on the top is called crypt. And these stem cells will make all the generation of new cells. And this is very important because if we don't have this, we need to replace them in 5 days. If we don't have this, we die. So it's very important, but we need to have this in check because a stem cell can proliferate very fast, and sometimes this can get cancer-like status, so we don't like this. So what we have is so scientists did a randomized study in mice, so very high fat diet and balanced nutrients for a long time, and they look for the intestine and say, what is going on here? What's the difference? So the ones that were fed with high fat diet, mimicking the industrialized food, they had much enriched cancer-like cells, stem-like cells there. So this is not good. We don't want to do this. So let's treat better our intestine. Let's be careful about our diet, really. Let's go for our data in humans. So there's a rise in the early onset colorectal cancer in the United States. And last year, the American Society of Cancer reported that for the first time in history, colorectal cancer has become the #1 cause of death, of cancer death among men and women under 50 years old in the United States. So we really need to pay attention on this as well. So hopefully these 3 inputs will help you in decision making, and perhaps if you have it already covered, it will help you to keep with this decision and keep fighting for your health. And if you're not in this area, if you're still with error number 1, 2, or 3 here, I hope this will help you to change your decision making. I'm a cancer researcher, and my mission is to fight cancer. But as I told you, we are committed to this daily. But as I told you, this is a collective responsibility. And you are fighting cancer daily with your decisions. So I hope you can get this to your daily life. And with this, please let me take back to our original question. 2 million, 20 million, what are we going to do about it? Let's all fight cancer together.